Hey, from Easy YouTube, this is Ravi speaking, and I have a confession to make. Yes, I know we're talking about Avatar: The Last Airbender, as you can see right here, but before we get into this review, I just want to say this real quick. When I was a kid, I used to skip on this show. I did not watch it as a kid. Well, I saw like parts of it, but I never really watched it. Like, I never dedicated my childhood to watching Avatar: The Last Airbender. And after watching this show, I so regret that to this day. I'm like, why did I skip on this? Why? Like, how could I be so stupid? How could I flip the channel? Because I did watch Nickelodeon. Of course, SpongeBob, Danny Phantom. Danny Phantom was a really good show. But Avatar, why? Why did I skip on Avatar? Well, I don't know. However, after listening to some friends saying that they love Avatar, saying that they loved it very much, I finally gave this a shot. You guys know Chandler in my previous videos. He and I watched it together. Well, just the first half of the first season. And I was already loving it. So after he left, I kept watching more and more Avatar. And in like under 2 weeks, I had finished it. So thank you to Chandler. Also my friend Orion, who's another person in my videos. He loved Avatar. Who else? My friend Josemie from It's an Anime Thing. Shout out to you. And also Sarah, who you saw not too long ago in that one Smasher Pass video. She loved this as well. So I finally now I feel like I'm finally caught up. Though I do have to watch Legend of Korra, though. I mean, I know some people say like, oh, Legend of Korra is okay, but it's not the best. I'm still gonna give it a shot though when it comes out on Netflix. But before I get into Legend of Korra on Netflix, before I binge watch that show, I need to talk about what's so good about this. Like I said before, like what's so good about Avatar. Well, Avatar: The Last Airbender is about a boy named Aang who has this power. It's hard to explain what it is, but basically when you are the Avatar, basically you have all four elements. Basically the four elements are water, fire, earth, wind. And so Aang can master all of these because he is the Avatar, where there are some people who can only master one element though. He started off as an airbender, and then after being frozen for over 100 years, he has to go on this journey with his friends in order to master all the elements. And that's pretty much what the story is though. Just him traveling with his friends, learning the abilities. And so the show is a bit episodic though. I mean, it does have a story, but it is a bit episodic though. Like, there'll be one episode where they're here, and then there'll be one episode where they're there. And then it's just about them like visiting one place to another. And sometimes we need episodic shows. I mean, when it's done right though. I mean, even though it's episodic though, like some of the stuff that happens, it impacts the story. Like, there are some characters that you won't see for a while until later, and I was like, oh, that character, I didn't know we were gonna see that character again. I thought we were done with that character. But I mean, there are some episodes where I was just like, yeah, that could have been handled a bit better though. But those are just a few episodes though. That's one of the only flaws I had with the show though, is that there were a few episodes that were just, weren't the best. But okay, so let's talk about the animation for a moment though. The animation. Now, before I get into the animation, one of the things that people talk about though is Avatar: The Last Airbender in anime. I'm going to say no. It is inspired by anime, but the creators who have worked on this show have said that this is not anime though, that they were just creating a show inspired by anime. And you want to know something? That's fine though. I mean, yes, Ruby, this poster I have right behind me though, Ruby just seems more anime. Like, it just seems more anime to lots of people. I mean, I think the creators of that show have confirmed that's anime, but Avatar, the creators have confirmed it's not anime. But that doesn't change the fact that it's good. That doesn't change the fact that if you are an anime fan, you can still enjoy Avatar though. I mean, the animation is just It's really good though. Like, I don't know how to say it though, but the animation though, like when you're up in the sky, you really feel like you're in the sky. When you're like when you're in the water tribe, like the northern water tribe of the North Pole, you really feel like you're in this winter wonderland. And now on to the characters. Now before I get into the characters, I'm just gonna say that I'm only gonna do 5 characters, like the 5 main characters. The problem is there's just so many characters that it would take me a long time, and sometimes I don't have a whole lot of time to be doing this when it comes to characters. So I just want to get that out of the way. Aang himself, the Avatar, the Last Airbender. He may not be the most original of characters, and what I mean by that though is that he's kind of inspired by those dim-witted shonen characters like Goku from Dragon Ball or Gong from Hunter x Hunter. He is definitely like that though. But what makes him different though from those characters though? Because those characters have differences of their own. Like, there are some different elements to them. What is it with Aang though? He is a bit of a tragic character though. Like, he's the last of his kind. He has like the entire world on his shoulders though. Like, when people hear that he's the Avatar, they like remind him of how much responsibility he has though. So he has like the biggest responsibility compared to any other character on the show though. And he also develops as a character though. Like, Aang, he's still the same dim-witted kid, the same naive kid, but he learns to be more responsible though. He learns that I can't master these powers so easily though, that it's gonna take me a while though. There's one episode though where he tried to master fire so soon, but then he was just, something happened. I'm not gonna get into spoilers, guys. Something happened where he did something wrong with the fire, and he was like, you know, maybe I should just back off for a while. Maybe I should just back away from the fire and focus on something else. I'm not ready to do firebending yet. I think that's pretty interesting when it comes to Aang though. Then you have Katara, the waterbender herself. She's the only one of the 5 main characters that does waterbending other than Aang. Basically, when you first see her, like at the very beginning of the show, you see that she only does these really small tricks though with waterbending though. Like, oh, I'm gonna move this piece of water to there. Like, she just does these little tricks and that's it though. She's not a skilled waterbender because there's no one else to teach her. So, like, what else can you do? Well, when she meets Aang and travels with Aang, that's when she starts growing as a character. Goes from these small tricks to like, oh, I'm moving waves. I'm making ice. And there's another trick that she learns in the 3rd season that was a bit dark, but just showed that she could be like one of the best waterbenders ever though. And then you have Sokka. I think that's how you pronounce his name though. The idiot brother to Katara. Now, he's my least favorite of the 5 main characters though. I don't dislike him though. In fact, I do like his character, but that's only because he develops as a character and becomes more skilled as the story goes along though. But before, like at the very beginning though, I did not like this guy though. He was rude to Aang though, and I understand that has to be a character that doesn't trust Aang at first when they meet Aang, but he's still a jerk after that though. Like, he still becomes a jerk. He just keeps doing it like every few episodes. Finally, like, he starts developing more and more and more. He becomes a more skilled warrior. I do like that about his character though. It just takes a bit though to get you to like the character though. Even though he doesn't have any bending powers or anything though, it's still impressive to see how these characters, you know, can hold their own though. And then you have the earthbending teacher, Toph. Now Toph, when you first see Toph in the 2nd season though, you get a really good first impression from her though. Not only is she a badass, but you see her in her personal life though. When she was in that mansion being raised by her 2 parents who just sheltered her, she wanted more though. Like, she's like, I don't care that I live in this mansion, I have all this money. This is not the life I want though. I want adventure. I want action. And she gets that, of course, from Aang though. Like, Aang was that person who gave her a reason to go on adventures. And she just learns more about earthbending though. Like, this isn't just a learning experience for Aang on earthbending, but she learns more on earthbending as well, though. And I thought that was pretty impressive, though, that the mentor had to know more. And then last but not least, you have Zuko, the banished prince of the Fire Nation. I feel so much for this character, though. He's just a tragic character, though. You understand his motivation, though, that he starts off as this guy who gets shot on by his father to understanding why he's going after the Avatar, though. And he does some things that are a bit evil, though, but he's not the most evil of antagonists, though. He just wants Aang, so that way he can give him to his father, and that way his father will take him back, and that's it, though. He just wants to have his father back in his life, though. So Aang is the key to all that, though. Even if it means, like, hurting people, burning villages, he'll do it, though. He'll do it, though. But you also see that he's also has a heart, though. You understand that he does have some good in him, though. And I like that, though. He's not just pure evil, though. He's not just like, I'm just doing this for fun, though. I'm just gonna kill everyone. Okay, that was a little too much, guys. I'm sorry, though. But he does develop later more, like, as the story goes on, though. Much like the other characters, though, he develops more and more, though. One of my favorite episodes with Zuko, though, is when he goes on his own adventure, and he goes to a village, though. I think this was in the second season, though. He goes on his own adventure where he meets this family, though, and he doesn't tell anybody that he's the Fire Nation prince, so he keeps it a secret, though. He goes to their home. He just tries to fit in, like, hey, I'm just a normal person, though, and I'm just going by, I just need food, water, and a place to sleep. That's all I need to do, though. And he just tries so hard to keep it a secret, though. And at the very end of that episode, it broke my heart, though. I was just like, poor Zuko, though. Because, I mean, you can say that he's an anti-hero, though. I think that's the right way to say it, though. I don't think that's what an anti-hero is, though. It's like kind of in between here and there, though. That's how I feel for Zuko, though. Like, Zuko's probably the most developed character in the entirety of the show. Another thing I want to talk about when it comes to the show is the fighting, though. Now, usually when people enjoy fights, though, they enjoy blood. They just enjoy really gritty moments, though. Avatar is not that, though. I mean, there were times when I wish it was a tiny bit more violent, though. But they're still good fights, though. I mean, fire versus water versus wind versus earth. Still great fights, though. I mean, you don't need blood to have such a great fight, though. I mean, if you look at Star Wars, though, Star Wars doesn't really have any blood, though. It's just lightsabers, blasters, ship battles. That's how I feel with Avatar, though. I mean, there are times when I'm just like, oh my god, that's out of this world, though. And just that final battle, though. I don't want to spoil too much about the final battle, though. But when you see Aang, though, fighting the final antagonist of the show, I'm just like, wow, this is a really great fight, though. Like, is this really Aang, though? Is this really the Aang that we saw in the very first episode? This is truly where the animation shines the most, though. And I know I talked about the animation not too long ago, and because of how great this show is, though, when it comes to the animation, the episodes, the characters, the fights, I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10, though. But let me know in the comments down below, though. What did you think of Avatar, though? Have you seen it, though? What was it like for you when you were a kid? Thanks for watching, guys. Please make sure to subscribe, and that's all I have to say. I'm Rob A, and may the anime force be with you.